Recording. Perfect. Welcome to our Introduction to Data Science presentation. My name is Molly, and I'm a student advisor here at Springboard. I've been at Springboard for about a year now, so I've been doing a couple of these orientations over the course of each month. Excited to welcome you guys to our introduction course. Excited to get you acquainted with the material and orient you for what is to come. First and foremost, just wanted to thank you too. I know myself alongside many other employees here at Springboard do appreciate you continuing your learning with us and are excited to see all that you can accomplish within your time here at Springboard and within your time at the course. So without further ado, I will go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. And we can go ahead and present. While I am presenting today, I will not be able to see the chat box. So if you message me while I'm presenting, do know that I'm not ignoring you, but I just can't see it. So at the end of our presentation, I will allow for time for questions. So hopefully I will be able to answer any questions you had during the presentation. Also, just feel free to message in the chat box as well. So it'll remind me to or it'll remind yourself to ask the question and make sure I don't miss anything and you get clarity over everything that you would like to know more about. Cool. So for our orientation overview today, we'll start off with course support. So who can you lean on in the course if things might get tough? We'll move to course structure. So what are the four main components of the course and how can you utilize them to the best of your ability? Next, we'll move on to tips to succeed in the course. So these are tips that I feel differentiate students who are extremely successful in the course to those who might struggle a little bit. And then at the end, we'll have time for questions. So again, I'll leave about 5 to 10 minutes at the end for a questions portion. Do you know that this is about a 30-minute overview, 30-minute orientation slot? So we'll try to keep it within that time constraint to be mindful of everyone's time here. So first, course support, who can you lean on? First, me, Molly. I'm your student advisor for our introduction course. I can support you in a lot of different ways. Students utilize me for weekly check-ins, touching base just so you have accountability, help with time management, anything regarding the student platform, student experience or Springboard platform, I am there to help with. Sadly, I am not a data scientist, so if you have any content questions that are specific to data science, there are going to be other pillars of support that you can lean on for those questions. However, anything regarding billing, logistical things, taking a break from the course, etc., you can definitely go to me for that. You can contact me at molly@springboard.com. You will also just see a lot of prompts in the curriculum and throughout your time with Springboard, just emails and such, so you can always respond to me, and it should be a really easy way to get in touch with me. Alongside myself, we have Guy Mescal, who is your community manager. He also mentors with us at Springboard, so he is an industry expert. He is there to help with all things regarding the content, the curriculum, the industry. He is there to ask technical questions, receive feedback on your capstone project. He shares resources and just tries to engage the community and get you guys to get to know each other and introduces people to all the new cohorts. And last but certainly not least, we have your mentor. You do not have who your mentor's name is just yet, as you will find out who your mentor is on Friday, April 26th, this Friday. While we don't know who they are yet, they are all industry experts and they all are very passionate for mentoring, excited to impart their knowledge onto the next generation of data scientists. You will be speaking with your mentor once a week during a 30-minute call. The time of that, again, will also be shared with you on Friday. But until then, just know that they, alongside Guy, are there to support your content, your industry and technical skills, anything that you might need regarding those topics, and I can help you with things regarding the Springboard platform or student experience. Cool, moving on to course structure. First, we have our curated project-based curriculum. Rather than being limited to in-house materials, we partner with a lot of dynamic programs to ensure that this is an all-encompassing dynamic program. So you'll see Data Camp is an example of one platform that we use. It's a great place to begin coding and to kind of learn R initially. So you will see times in the curriculum that will prompt you to log into there. Outside of that, it is our own curated curriculum, which is project-based. So what that means is that as you're working through the content, let's say Unit 3 data wrangling, you're immediately able to practice that skill on your own capstone project. At the end of the course, your capstone project will showcase all that you've learned throughout your time in the curriculum and will hopefully be a great piece of evidence of all that you have done throughout your time during the course. Alongside that, you also, like I said, have a once a week 30-minute mentor call. This is that one-on-one time with your industry expert. It's really precious time to ask any questions that you might have as you're working through the curriculum. Get tips and tricks on interviewing, talk to them about the industry, talk about networking, whatever you want to use that time for. Definitely utilize that just to the best of your ability. It is once a week at the same time each week, so just be mindful of that as you go forward. And yeah, your mentor is someone who's willing to help you in any way that they can, so definitely prepare for those calls as much as you can going forward. Next, our third component of our course structure is our online community. Something unique about our program is that our online community houses all students in the program. So these are students who might have started a couple months ago in March or February. They also host students like you guys who just started, who will start on Monday. We also have alumni who still live in the program. So once you complete a course with us at Springboard, you will always have lifetime access to the content and the community. So we still have a lot of alumni, checking the community, posting resources, posting links, talking about networking events. So it's a really interactive place where you can go to meet others who are going through a similar experience that you are going through. I really encourage many of you to reach out in your online community, say hey, be vulnerable, ask questions, get to know those who are in the course with you, and I think it just kind of humanizes the whole virtual learning component of our course. Last, we also have our office hours. The fourth component of our course structure is our office hours. They are every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. They are hosted by two of our mentors here at Springboard, Ram and Mohammed. They are hilarious and wonderful people who do a great job at making office hours super engaging and super useful and interesting. Myself and Catherine, who is another student advisor at Springboard, we also are there to help with anything regarding the Springboard questions. And overall, I think it's just a great time. We always have fun during office hours, and it's a 30-minute time slot. We go over everything from general question and answers to capstone project presentations, mentor interviews, industry experts, and more. So definitely tune in to office hours. You should have been prompted with a Google Calendar invite, which will tell you what your next steps will be for that. But just zooming out overall, these are the four main components of your course structure and how you can utilize them. Let's move on to some important notes. There's two things to be mindful of before we go any further. Do note that to complete the course or to apply to complete the course, you will need to hit at least two minimum requirements. One is that you complete at least 60% of the curriculum. And the second is that you upload all projects, including the capstone project. So it's an automatic pop-up. So once you hit those two minimum requirements, it will say you are ready to apply to complete the course. Do you want to do that? And you'll say yes. From there, I am then sent an email letting me know that you are ready to complete. I then send your information to your mentor. Your mentor then grades your assignments and projects and will get back to us with either a review of yes, he or she has completed the course, or let's go ahead and edit it down a little more and work on refining some of those projects together. Cool. Once you have applied to complete, your billing will be stopped. Another important note is that you might be getting emails from Leo, who is another Springboard staff who is on the support side of things. Leo lives in the curriculum, so you see that little lifeboat in blue under the name Beacon. So Leo will respond to you in Beacon or an email as well. So he is there for logistical things or really quick, immediate answers that you might need while you're working through the curriculum. So as much as I'm sure you guys love hearing my voice, I'd love to hand things over to some of our mentors so you can get a little bit more on their perspective.
Come together. Now, along that way, I had at some points really good mentors, at some point I didn't have mentors. And one of the things I've learned, and I apply to life, and I try to help out people whenever I can, is that having a mentor, having someone there that can explain things to you when you're stuck, kind of give you advice, is really invaluable. And really, there you can tell that difference when you see people interviewing or when you see people that are practicing, whether they had a good mentor.
I like working with students who, like myself, are learning coding from scratch. So I can totally understand how they're feeling and what they're feeling, and I can give them a lot of advice.
And it makes me sort of blush to have you read what Diraj wrote about me. I really had a wonderful relationship with him, and was really just, I don't know, I felt like the mentoring component of the Springboard course was one of the very best things about it. So it's nice to hear him say those nice things about me, but I feel like I could say just as good things about what an excellent teacher and how encouraging he was to me as I was learning.
We see it as a wonderful, opportunity to kind of pass down my experiences, good and bad, in this field with them, to share with them so that they're prepared once they get into the working world as a data scientist. And I'm learning as well, as much as they're learning from me. So those are the best calls to do, where almost the time just passes by in half an hour, and it's just a lovely experience. And it's not just mentees, it's more, they're going to become possibly lifelong friends as well.
Right now, it is the place where you would definitely love to be. So try and don't take pressure that, oh, I have to learn so many algorithms and I have to do so much of theoretical understanding. Start in steps and try to use whatever knowledge that you have presently, how it would be related to data science and data in general, and that will really help you to make a transition into that field very easily.
Yeah.
Because, one of the great values of having a mentor is having somebody you can kind of lean on if you get stuck. But it's also a good time to learn a lot of the intangibles of data science. So, what do data scientists do day to day? How do you deal with interviewing? How is a data science project set up? All of these other kind of little questions that people want to know, but it's not necessarily in the textbooks.
Great. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more of an insight into what our mentors are like and who you might be matched with on Friday. So let's move on to the last portion of our orientation today, which is how you can make the most of your course. Our first tip that we've heard time and time again from alumni and mentors alike is time management. What is in time management involved? It involves setting goals ahead of time, prioritizing this course and prioritizing your education, being able to schedule how much time you're willing to devote to this course ahead of time, and beginning to manage those inevitable interruptions. I think a lot of the times our students are, parents or working full-time or doing another course. And so it is important to set that time aside now and prepare for what is to come. Definitely avoiding procrastination at any time that you can. To do this, you can also use your study plan tool, which is in your curriculum. This is an estimate with how much time each chapter or unit might take, and it allows you to use the toggle to decide how much time you're willing to devote to the course each month or each week, and it just kind of helps better prepare what's to come. Great. So speaking of that timeline, just a quick eagle-eye view of this. Your orientation is today, Wednesday. You will find out who your mentor is on the 26th, Friday. Following that, Monday, the 29th, is your official course start date. And then from there, you can kind of decide out how many months, again, you might be in the course for, depending on how fast you're wanting to go or your background in technical and foundational skills. You might be done with the course in 1 to 2 months. Others, need to take it a little bit slower, and so a 3 to 4 month timeline might look more realistic. Whatever your timeline might be, just begin to prepare that now ahead of time. Cool. So the second tip we've heard is to develop a really good relationship with your mentor. I think first that means treating your mentor how you would like to be treated. So if you do have to cancel or reschedule any calls, make sure you do so within 24 to 48 hours. As you know, they also have a lot on their plate as well, and we want to be as kind to them as we hope that they are to you. Also let your mentor know of the agenda of your mentor call about 24 hours in advance, and you can do this through your mentor tab on your dashboard as well. This allows you to select one of the different topics that you would like to talk to your mentor about and give them a little bit of background information so that they can be better prepared for your call. This just allows both of you to have the most productive type of call that you can have by allowing you both to be prepared and ready for the chat. And your first call with your mentor, which will happen sometime next week between Monday and Sunday, you will find out your call time again on Friday. Or I'm sorry, it will begin being sent out by Friday. You will find out officially your call time on Sunday. But in that first call, make sure you go over your background, both yours and your mentors, your goals for the course, what your expected course pace will be, and make sure also to establish backup video call links. Examples being Google Hangout, Appear, Zoom. So if Skype doesn't work, or if you're going on vacation and you need to use a phone or an email, you already have those backup links provided, so you're not searching for that last minute. Cool. Our third step is to engage in the community. So make sure you ask questions in the community. Be vulnerable and put yourself out there. Odds are someone is going to have the similar, if not the exact same question that you have. Also make sure you're joining study groups. We do have a lot of different groups in different cities. I know San Francisco or New York are currently two of the cities that we've been hosting community groups and community events. If one of the cities that you are in, is naturally gaining more students, then we would love to create more study groups in your city in person. Also in the community is where you can attend office hours and request office hour topics. So encourage you guys all to reach out today, say hey, let them know, let everyone else know in your community who you are, where you're coming from, and what are you looking forward to in the course. It's the best way to engage with the peers around you and get to know others who are kind of going through a similar experience that you might be. Cool, so what happens next? Make sure you finish the getting started section of your student profile before your first mentor call. Begin to start brainstorming ideas for your capstone project. I know it is quite the ways away, but you'll be prompted pretty early on into the curriculum to think of 3 different capstone project ideas. The earlier you can begin brainstorming, the better, because it'll allow you to talk about this in your first mentor call with your mentor. Say, hey, I really love music, or I'm really interested in sports analytics. Where could I go to find a data set that would provide me with the information I need? And last but not least, just meet your mentor via email. So make sure you reach out to your mentor, let them know you're excited for your first call, and begin preparing for that first call. Awesome. So I kind of ran through that quickly as we only had 30 minutes for this presentation. So we have about 10 minutes left. I know, like I said, I went pretty quickly. So happy to now give you guys time to ask any questions. Bring yourself up on video or unmute yourself, ask questions in the chat box. And would love to, answer anything I missed or clarify anything I can. Let's see. Might be muted. There you go.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I'd ask if you're maybe particularly struggling with one topic in the curriculum, do you guys have any recommendations on like outside resources to maybe supplement if you felt like you need additional work on it or something along those lines?
Yeah, so we do have some resources, low cost, and free resources that we can put to you. So just email me directly and I'll be more than happy to provide you. Also, we do partnership with DataCamp, so you should be able to use DataCamp to separate those minutes.
Okay, thanks.
Great question, yeah. Anyone else have any questions? Oh, perfect. Where do we access the time management tool? Through your curriculum. So I can actually just pull it up if you'd like. It's just in your curriculum. It's like a tiny little timer. And I will just put it right here. It basically just says, okay, let's study plan. It allows you to toggle with I plan to complete in X time. So you guys can access it right there or just through your curriculum. Cool question. Anything else I can answer? And if you guys have a question that you either forget about until after this or you don't feel comfortable asking here, email me directly at molly@springboard.com and I'd be more than happy to answer that for you.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, I have a question. What about the elective? Can that be any project that you want to do, or is it specified in the course?
The capstone project?
Yeah.
It can be any project that you're interested in. We actually encourage you to do a topic that you're really motivated by. So in the past, we've had students do projects over like weather. Someone did it over farming. Other people did like sports analytics or music. Wherever your passions lie, wherever you find the data set to work with, then the sky is your limit. So I would encourage you, to do something that fits with your passion.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question. Cool. Well, if there aren't any other questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to me at molly@springboard.com. More than happy. Is there a link that just shares past projects to reference? I can send that to you right now. You'll find that. So anytime you guys have questions, you're like, I wonder where they might be. They should be in your student guide too. So just going forward, if you have anything that you were like, I wonder if we have X, Y, Z, your student guide is really great for those types of questions. But I can specifically tell you what you're looking for now. So you wanted to know if there is past projects that you can take a look at. And the answer is yes. Here is one little quick link that you can check out. That's all about capstone projects in general. And then the second link, there is a place to get start capstone projects. Cool, and that should be in there as well. So yeah, I think that should help. But we do have a place where we have star capstone projects. It is actually, I think, in the curriculum automatically. So you can go to the curriculum and find tips. Hold on just one second. Introduction to analytics. There is one of them. I'll add it here. Awesome. And then last one should be our capstone projects. Found it. Awesome. Sorry for the delay on that. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, mostly any question that you have should be in student guide. That should be able to answer most questions that you have. But if you have a question that's not there, email me directly. More than happy to help. Cool. I think we're about at time, guys. So I will be mindful of your time today for orientation. But did want to again take the time to thank you and say We appreciate you. Best of luck with your learning goals going forward, and looking forward to seeing all that you will accomplish in the next couple of months.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good rest of your day, and I'm sure. Bye.
Thank you.